Brought to you by the new Samsung Chromebook Plus, the first Chromebook made for Google Play.
What's going on, guys? San Diego Comic-Con 2017. We are awash in Deadpools and Harley Quinns and all sorts of fun stuff. I'm sitting here with two of my favorite people, Roth Cornett and Andy Signor.
Hal, we're live!
Yes, we are live. Can you believe it? And I'm also holding in my hand an official Kingsman fidget spinner.
Careful, it's a bomb.
That is
Taron
also a
Egerton told
weapon.
us that.
OMG. They're blowing up right here at Comic-Con. They dropped new footage this morning, new trailer, lots of special stuff. And you guys had the opportunity to sit down with like the whole cast of the movie.
Crazy, they were right here.
Jeff Bridges. Jeff
I'm Hal
Bridges.
Rudnick.
Oscar winner.
In that
guy.
shirt.
Oscar winner
JT,
Jeff Bridges.
What are you doing?
Jeff Bridges.
Oh my God, JT. We're really live.
Yes, unbelievable.
I'm that film guy.
What was it like being that close to Channing Tatum?
I mean, Roth, he was awesome.
He was great. They were all really great. They were in good moods. I think they're really excited about the film. But I have to say for myself, it is indeed Jeff Bridges
Yes.
is
We were all
someone
in
I'm
awe.
pretty in awe.
Even Channing,
Even they
everyone
were.
was in awe
Yeah,
of Jeff
I mean,
Bridges.
he at this point he's reached legend status.
Yes.
Yes.
But these
So-
are like
But you're-
superstars. Halle
Roth,
Berry.
Channing remembered your name. That's always I'm saying out of school because that was off the cameras. But I'm giving him credit because you know when an actor's legit is when you introduce yourself, they've met a million people. But then as he's leaving, he's like, "Bye, Roth." I was like, that guy's a pro. I like
Man.
him.
That's
I
why
mean,
he's the Tatum.
Yeah, that's legend status. You go from heartbreaker to
Yeah,
legend status.
they were all legends. And Hal, we have clips. We
Yeah,
have a
so
whole interview.
let's throw to an interview with the entire cast, Andy, Roth, and the cast of the Kingsman, the Golden Circle.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. The cast of Kingsman, the Golden Circle. Oh my God, thank you guys. Taron Egerton, I'm so honored to have you all here live studio in San Diego Comic-Con. We saw the footage at the panel, but I got to see a little bit extra. This looks fantastic. The energy, Matthew Vaughn clearly is bringing it back again for the sequel. It's so frenetic and fun and creative, balls to the wall. You guys must be so excited, but I heard you, Channing, you were saying in the beginning that you were a fan of the first one like me. What was it about this franchise and why are you so excited about the sequel?
It just felt so fresh. I mean, Matthews, in every single one of his movies, he puts such like attention to detail and casting, and I think it was genius to find Taron. And Taron just like is Eggsy now. I think, and for whether you like it or not, you're gonna be. That's how we met you. And I just was a fan of the first movie, and it was so. I think at a time where all those big sort of pop movies started to kind of feel the same, this just came out and was straight up punk rock, didn't give any Oop, can I say that?
Sure, you did.
Well, it got said now. Didn't give no Fs and just did it. Just did its own thing. It had its own style, its own tone, and it was just different and wasn't afraid of it. Didn't apologize for it, and I don't know. I think it won people over for it.
Did the rest of the new Jeff and Pedro, did you feel that way too? Did you like the original?
I did. I loved it. I didn't know what to expect when I saw the original. Coming from the Bond movies, though, I did hear that it's kind of like a Bond movie, but maybe better. And I was like, really? Okay, let me watch this. And I watched it, and I was just. Well, I didn't say that. Someone else said that.
I'll say it.
Let me clarify. I said, if you think it's better than a Bond movie, let me watch it. And I was pleasantly surprised how fresh it was and how exciting it was. And I thought, women will actually like this too. It's just a movie from it, right?
I love this movie too. And I think you're right, though, that people do feel that it is a hearkening back to Bond because it is spies who are having fun being spies. They're embracing it, this big villains. And Matthew Vaughn seems to be the director that every franchise wants for his precision and that ability to do humor and action. What do you guys think it is about him that makes him so sought after as a director?
He's like an artist of entertainment. He knows how to really heighten that experience of having fun in cinema. And I think that that's why we all get so addicted to the experience of a Matthew Vaughn movie. And Taron will tell you this is the first time he's ever done a sequel. And so he gets to expand on his own invention, which you can only imagine what that would mean, I guess.
Wonderful to work with, to the environment that he creates on the set, That's something I look for as an actor, what the director comes up with, the mood of the director, and his is one of joy and relaxation, and everybody is feeling happy, and certainly he has his vision, but he's open to collaboration, wants to know all the actors' ideas as well. It was a lot of fun.
Well, this one, he steps up in the sequel because I love this idea of the Statesman coming. No spoilers, but clearly Kingsmen need help. They have to figure out and find this out. Well,
help is a strong word.
help is a strong word. Assistance. I love that. But then we introduce these statesmen, which is such a fun element. Obviously, introducing you, Channing and Jeff. What's the difference here? Who do you think would really win, the statesman or the Kingsman?
Obviously, Kingsman is, it's no secret. It's in the trailer. Is completely obliterated. So I guess when during the events of the movie, statesmen are probably in slightly better shape.
Full resources.
Full resources.
Then who
and obviously
wins?
because the statesmen, their front is that they have a liquor business. They make whiskey, Kentucky bourbon, and I think that's probably a little bit more lucrative than being Savile Row Taylor. So they have like great tech and incredible gadgets.
You get to do a lot of tech, right? Your character, Halle.
Yeah.
You're in charge.
I
Is there
do.
cool stuff
Yeah.
we should be excited for?
Yeah, I think so. I get to be the female Mark Strong, and that's kind of sexy.
You guys have some amazing weapons in this movie too. I particularly like the rope. Can you make literally anything into a weapon?
I have a new gadget. Everyone always goes on about Colin and his umbrella. I've got a cool new gadget.
Do you get weapons envy?
A bit, yeah. The umbrella is quite cool, and Matthew won't let me use it either. So yes, a little bit of weapon envy.
Can you make a fidget spinner actually be a weapon?
That is an explosive. Be very.
Yeah.
It's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, they gave us that. I love it. You guys gave us when you give us toys. It's so fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I didn't know we'd given you it, but.
Jeff, you're taught. A lot of people look up to you, and you're obviously you're Channing's sort of protege or mentor to him in the character. It seems. I'm
In real life as well.
and yeah, but to all of us.
Unofficially, you're my spirit animal and my mentor. I mean, you're my #1 celebrity hug desire.
Jeff, can I ask you a personal question?
Please do.
What's your spirit animal?
That's none of your damn business.
To wrap this up, we are at Comic-Con. You guys are special agents. I'm just curious, who would you cosplay as?
You probably know my Gambit. Gambit's mine.
Oh, you would. So you would. You should do it this year. Come, just bring it. They must have. You
You,
must have made
got
a
to
suit.
prepare for it. I haven't prepared for it, right?
I'm sure someone out there will have one for you.
Next year.
You
Yeah,
bring it
right.
into fruit. People
Just like
would
knock
love
somebody
that.
out and drag them behind like one of the Comic
Yeah, Jeff, who would you cosplay? Because I'm sure there's many dudes.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I would be one of those guys, a dude, I guess.
The dude.
Maybe so.
Oh, that would be amazing. Him cosplaying as a dude. Well, I mean, wouldn't get any better than that.
It would be strange going out as yourself, like with a mask of yourself.
I might break out my Tron leotard.
Oh, I love it.
I had to wear a dance belt for that whole movie, man. Oh,
I would
sitting
go
on
Tron. I would go Tron if I could get the right
the helmet.
lighting.
Oh, yeah.
It would have
It's a
to
lot
be
of
like
lighting.
lit up and everything. I would
Well,
do that.
thank you guys so much for coming. The film looks amazing, guys. You will have to check this film out when it comes out this fall. I cannot wait to see it. And thank you guys so much for giving your time and enjoy your Comic-Con.
Thank you.
Kingsman Golden Circle.
Thanks,
yay!
guys.
Thank you.
Wow, that was cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, Roth, I'm impressed. You, to his face, you let Jeff Bridges know that he was your spirit animal.
That was my opportunity. I really wanted a hug.
Did
and
you get the
I
hug?
I didn't go fully there. I didn't fully ask for the hug. I think he would have done it if I asked him.
Oh, I think you would have too. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're live now. But I was in that moment. Did you feel a little bit? I felt like it was Doctor Strange. I was out of the body just speaking. I was watching it. I'm like, I called Jeff Bridges Jeff.
Yeah,
Was that just
surreal.
I was like, I'm just gonna call him Jeff.
I mean, he is flesh and blood just as you
Yeah.
are, or is he?
yeah, I don't know. But what an honor, and I'm so grateful they came in here.
Amazing. How come Colin Firth didn't want to say anything to
He
you
was
and Roth?
so-
What did you
He
do
was
to offend
listening.
Colin Firth?
He was listening.
He was really quiet during the panel as well. He seemed pretty nervous to say anything that would be a spoiler about how he's in fact in the sequel. I think that's what he was afraid of.
Gotcha. Andy and I made up a song last night. Remember? Is it worth it? Let me Firth it. Put my fling down, flip it, and reverse it. Yeah. If anyone out there can finish that entire song parody, put it in the comment section below. That'd be great.
I still think he might be a Force ghost.
He might in the
Maybe.
film.
Yeah, he's like maybe he's not really alive. He's there to like. Who knows?
I still maintain that the force of his pure British will stopped the bullet, and that he was just like, I refuse to acknowledge you, bullet, and
Yeah.
therefore you do not exist.
Absolutely.
That is how amazingly British. I love him. He's Mr. Darcy.
Oh, I know. The ladies love Firth.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't realize this. Firth has a power over women.
Yeah, of course.
So you guys saw, I was turned away from the panel this morning and dragged out by security. But you guys saw a ton of footage, like almost a half hour worth of footage from the film. Let's hear some instant reacts.
Go. We
Yeah,
were
I
both
mean-
talking because we were both
Well,
very
I,
excited.
I liked it a lot. Truth be told, they let us come and see a little bit of it earlier just to sort of get prepared for it, and it was pretty amazing to see it in its context. So I got to really see it again, and it was good the second time too. It was just an amazing frenetic energy that and the trailer shows a lot of it too. But it was just amazing to be able to get the energy back of the first one, because I'm a huge fan of the first one, and you're always worried with the sequel, are they going to be able to bring it? And this, I left like, wow, I want to talk about this movie. Now I'm so glad we can talk about this movie because I really am excited for this movie.
The trailer is action packed. Who's the big bad in this movie, or who are they going up against?
Ooh, it's Julianne Moore is the big bad in this one, and it's actually, they showed 4 clips. One was kind of a parody thing that you guys can watch with Archer, which is really hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's great. Archer Kingsman mashup. It's awesome.
And then that one's great. And then they showed the opening sequence, which is this amazing set piece and action sequence. You know, Matthew Vaughn has famously avoided sequels, and I think it's because of the pressure of a sequel. If we think of sequels, there's a couple, Godfather 2, that are iconically great, but they are hard to do. And he's avoided it, but he did this one, and he said it was very hard to do, but he's proud of it. So it comes in with this incredible kinetic action sequence, still really fun. It's spies having fun, loving being spies. Then there's a fight sequence that they showed between Channing and Taron, and then they showed Julianne Moore, who is an amazing big bad in this movie. She's a drug queen pin who's obsessed with the 50s, and so has this whole enclave in the middle of the jungle that's like 50s retro with robots. Discuss.
Robot dogs.
I mean, would you consider, you say Matthew Vaughn shies away from sequels, but X-Men First Class, sort of a sequel.
Reboot?
I mean, reboot. Technicality. Yeah. So, and
he was starting his own version of that, I feel like, in a way.
Yeah,
so.
and he definitely kind of revitalized the X-Men franchise with it. And it wasn't a continuation of another story.
Yeah, and he didn't do Kick-Ass 2. I mean, he's sort of chosen not to. So, look, I
and
hope
Kick-Ass 2 suffered for it.
It was fine. Yeah. It wasn't as good. But yeah, I think this is the one that'll make or break whether this is really the franchise, a successful franchise. And I have to say, I remember the first one. I remember really liking the first one. And then when we got to see this footage, it harkened back of like, yeah, this is a no holds barred, like R-rated, just doesn't give an F, sort of really. But then not only that, but it's like his attention to detail is so wonderful. Like the action sequence they show in the beginning is like fight scene in a car chase, and it's like those can be so bad to do or so like chaotic, or you're not sure what's going on. But he keeps it funny. He keeps it surprising. It's CG a little bit, but you don't care because it's almost like Chaplin-esque, and it's just like you're just like, I love this.
There were so many nods to the spy genre and the James Bond, franchise of films, but it made it its own. That church sequence and the character with the blades as legs. I mean, it definitely had its own tone.
And they're not afraid, as we were saying, they're not afraid to enjoy themselves. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things with villains right now. We don't have kind of like the, odd job type of villain that's just unafraid to be big and epic and ridiculous. And this franchise, is it a franchise yet? Have we decided?
I mean, second one
is that franchise?
But Odd Job, Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws.
Yeah.
Like these amazing Bond villains that are just larger than life. And I think that this franchise is unafraid to do that, which is so fun.
I liked Samuel L. Jackson. Everyone gives him a bad rap because of the lisp and everything, but
I
thought it was a
fun.
choice. Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
It was definitely a choice.
And Julianne Moore as the villain, we got to see a clip with her as Poppy. She brings it too. It's a different energy, and it's a really sort of funny and disturbing introduction to her.
Does she have a speech impediment?
She does not.
She has her own
has
weird little thing. We'll see. She's very powerful.
Yeah.
And she's not afraid to make her people know it.
Gotcha. Ooh. All right, and we can't. No spoilers.
Yeah, well, I don't like spoiling, but yeah, there's this. We meet her sort of initiating some henchmen.
Yes.
And
Gotcha.
she puts them through the ringer. Let's say.
Oh man, I want to see this footage. I love Julianne Moore. So I can't think about the Kingsman without hearkening back to my trip to England, where
this was one of my favorite clips of you ever.
Thanks, Andy. I caused an international incident, and I'm not allowed in the UK. ever again. So yeah, I mean, I think Brexit was because of me. So
This scene is genius because they didn't know what they were in for, but also
Yeah, so
we put this too far at the end of the video
Yeah.
for people to appreciate it's hilarious.
yeah, they stopped watching before they got to that
exactly.
point.
Not to overhype
But
this clip.
basically,
now.
it was a very dry moment where like 20 members of the international press were standing around in this tailor shop that made the fineries for Parliament and British actors and royalty. So we were getting an explanation of how that goes down, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do the stupidest shit ever right now.
Oh, do we have the clip?
We have a little taste
Yes,
of
this
this.
is a very serious moment that Hal could not help himself but add some
Yeah.
levity.
Levity.
Sorry, levity. I'm tired. It's Comic-Con.
We are one of the oldest houses on Savile Row. We were founded back in 1849. We used to dress Ian Fleming as well, who was the creator of James Bond.
Where does Austin Powers get his fancy clothes?
I don't know, but not
Okay.
Huntsman.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
All right.
See, you got the laugh on
I
the
think
first one.
For
First
most
laugh.
people visiting the shop when you come in, it's how you imagine Savile Row would be.
Is it true that some of the suits here cost as much as $1 million?
Almost. Getting close.
Thank you.
No one
The
was on this.
configurations are one of the important bits that they don't mention to you when they're fitting you, but are the details that they notice about the way you stand, whether you've got a big paunch, if you've been drinking too much beer, whether you've got a humpback.
Are your sizes flexible enough to fit, say, a fat bastard?
Of course.
Good. Austin Powers 2?
That was
Come on, help me. 3?
Nothing, he was in both.
Okay.
2 and 3.
Good man.
Yet again, I squandered a great opportunity. Also, I was pulled aside and politely asked not to make any more Austin Powers references. If you're a lip reader, you can clearly see me saying, no more Austin Powers.
I think I've dealt a serious blow to U.S.-British relations.
I think it's safe to say that you were definitely a statesman there.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
You were
you.
definitely
Thank you,
treating
my
on the
good man.
Kingsman territory.
Or the ugly American. But
I would like to thank them for that too, because they did not deserve that. But it was
They
you were
didn't
very
deserve that.
You were,
That
you
nice
were the
lady.
idiot.
Yes.
That was a very nice
oh.
lady. Very nice trip. And
I was the fly in the ointment. It was wonderful. Yeah, I got to go to England on their dime.
Did they end up loving the joke?
You know what? They probably. How could they not like
How
that?
could they
video?
not love
How
that
could they not like
joke?
it? Or maybe they just hate it. Hey, they showed up here today, so they
Yes.
must have loved
Yes.
it. You know what? This is super great. So you guys, after seeing all the footage, you're encouraged about the second Kingsman, The Golden Circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that this is the story that Fox only showed Kingsman, which in a way is a pretty bold move on their part because they do have Deadpool and they do have New Mutants and things that Comic-Con would be looking forward to. So I think that what they're trying to say, the message is like, get excited for Kingsman, and I think they delivered it.
Yeah, I mean, look, as a fan of all these movies, I was a little bummed we didn't get to see some of their tastes, but I agree. I think bold move to focus on this. They brought out the big guns with the cast, and thank God it was good because we did have them here. And we're not saying that because they were here. Like, I really was jazzed by this footage, and it made me even more excited that they were here and that we could talk about it and share it with you. And I think now that people are seeing the clip and the trailers, they're seeing, okay, Matthew Vaughn's back. I'm a big fan of his. He's a really great director, and the fact that he thinks there's more to this, and now that we can see it, that introduction to Channing Tatum with the King, when you meet them, it's like I'm a fan of the story. You clearly understand something happens. They need to enlist some help, and it's a brilliant way to sort of up the game as sequels need to do in a way.
And I love Pedro Pascal. I'm still
cast.
heartbroken over the Red Viper of Dorne.
The
Oh
one
my
question I didn't get
Yeah.
in was that I was assuming that he's in the movie long enough for us to really, really love him and then just die violently.
Yeah.
You have to assume. That's all he'll ever do in any
Yeah.
movie from now on.
It's like, what's his name from King? What's his name? The guy who always dies. Sean Bean.
Sean
Yes.
Bean.
He's like his own
Ned
Sean
Stark,
Bean.
yes.
Exactly. He's the new Sean Bean. You guys, you got me excited for the movie. Are you excited for Kingsman: The Golden Circle? Also,
Thanks, JT.
perfect shot. Also, what actor or actress is your spirit animal? Let us know in the comments section below. Roth Cornett, Andy Signor,
And
you
we'll
are
be
both
live
my
again
spirit
tomorrow at 4
animals.
p.m. here on the main channel for Flickbait.
Bam! Come back tomorrow for Flickbait and just watch all of our coverage. It's off the charts. And yeah, happy Comic-Con. Bye-bye.